Should you wait for the iPhone 13? Or should you use that money on some other really exciting Apple products launching this year? Apple is very hard at work right now in 2021. They're working on new phones, tablets, desktops, laptops, watches, headphones, accessories. There is a bunch coming out of Cupertino this year, and in this video, I'm gonna tell you about it all. I'm gonna break down all the leaks, all the rumors, everything you need to know about the products launching this year from Apple and a little beyond. And by the end of this video, you'll know if you should wait for the iPhone 13 coming this fall, or if there's something coming even sooner that might be more exciting and well worth your money. And a big thanks to our friends at Ting for sponsoring this video. There is absolutely so much to cover in this video, so I'm gonna start it off by kind of rapid firing through some things you probably already know about, but with some new info thrown in there as well. Let's kick things off with AirTags. And yes, even well into 2021, AirTags have still not officially launched, and we're just waiting at this point for them to finally make their public debut. They've leaked in Apple support videos. We've seen leaked accessories for them. At this point, we know very well that they do exist somewhere in Cupertino, and we hopefully should see them very soon. We are learning a little bit of new info about AirTags courtesy of Jon Prosser, that one or both models of AirTags that should come in different sizes might be able to reverse wirelessly charge off of the back of an iPhone. Now, which iPhone, iPhone 12 or 13, we don't know, but if you're looking for a quick way to juice up your AirTag, you might just be able to drop it onto the back of your phone, give it a little bit of a charge, and then put it back in your backpack or your bag or your purse or whatever, and then be on your way and know your devices and your items can be tracked. We don't know exactly how they're supposed to charge regularly. Will there be room for a port on here? Will it only charge with some kind of Qi charger? Can you only charge them off of the back of an iPhone? We're not exactly sure how this is going to work, but we do know they are expected to launch very, very soon. Next, let's talk iPhone 13, and there is a lot to get excited about with this phone. I mean, at this point, we kind of know that this is gonna be a really great upgrade. ProMotion, always on display, a little bit of a smaller notch, big camera upgrades, processor improvements. I could go on and on and on, and I did. So if you do wanna know everything that is going to come in the new iPhone 13, you can check out the video linked right down below or up here. But in this video, those are kind of the cliff notes. Lots of really exciting things to look forward to for these phones launching this fall. But we are starting to hear a bit of early news about the iPhone 14 or 15 or 16. I know it's a little early, but there is a nugget of news that I think is very interesting. We're learning that Apple is looking to bring engineers in-house to work on 6G technology. Yes, this is the version after 5G that we have right now. So presumably faster speeds, better range, lots of improvements into this technology that should be really cool to see in the next versions of the iPhone and other future Apple devices that we'll get to in a moment. We also could see a couple new iPhone models launch this year as well, in addition to the 13 and 13 Pro series. There are some rumors that we could see a new version of the iPhone SE and the iPhone SE Plus. Now, rumors are a little scarce, but we have heard that the iPhone SE Plus could adopt the design language of the iPhone 11. So you'd have a 6.1-inch LCD display, it wouldn't be an OLED display, you'd have two cameras on the back, you'd have kind of the same similar design to the iPhone 11, but it could possibly ditch the notch and be one of the first iPhones to introduce Touch ID back into the iPhone universe, possibly built in to the power button on the side. Probably won't have the premium features like both Face ID and Touch ID, probably won't have all the cameras, but it should get a bit of a processor bump and would be kind of cool to see a bigger version of the iPhone SE. Next, let's get into the juicy rumors and talk all about Macs. And if Apple's Silicon and the M1 chip weren't already impressive enough, we're learning that the next version, which is either going to be the M1X or the M2, is going to be very exciting, even more powerful, have more of a dedicated GPU, a little bit more beefed up, a little bit more powerful. It's safe to say it's going to be a very exciting upgrade, and I cannot wait to see the first Mac that gets this new chip. And one that could potentially get it could be the 2021 iMac lineup. And yes, this could be the biggest design change we have seen the iMac get in almost a decade. Jon Prosser recently dropped some exclusive news on this 2021 iMac lineup, and surprisingly, it looks like the iMac could kind of go back to its roots and could possibly come in multiple colors this year. According to John Prosser, the iMac lineup could adopt the color scheme of the current iPad Air, so you'd get kind of a silver, space gray, green, blue, and pink color lineup that would be very polarizing to see, because on one hand, I feel like people would be really excited to get a little bit of a custom flair on their iMac, while others think it's a little too much. I don't know, I think I'd probably go with a space gray iMac, but maybe I'm alone. Would you pick up an iMac in like a hot pink color or a blue or a green? Let me know your thoughts down below. Colors aside, rumor is the design is supposed to be absolutely gorgeous, taking a page basically from the Pro Display XDR. It'd be a little bit more wide, a little less kind of tall than the iMac we have right now. It would drop those super thick bezels. There would not be any big chin on the bottom. If the rumors are correct, it should look absolutely stunning. It should bring a little bit of that iPad DNA in there as well. This looks like the iMac upgrade we have long been waiting for and should be really, really cool to see. Some other Macs to get super excited about that should also sport these new M1X or M2 Apple Silicon chips is the MacBook Pro lineup, which we're learning could get quite the upgrade. New rumors suggest there could be a new 14-inch model and 16-inch model of the MacBook Pro with these higher-end Apple Silicon chips inside that could get a lot of different design changes, a lot of I/O changes. Basically, it's like a whole new chapter in the MacBook Pro's history. Rumor has it that ports are coming back to the MacBook Pro. So these new models should have kind of a combination of a full-size SD card reader, a full-size HDMI port, multiple USB-C Thunderbolt ports, and the surprise return of a magnetic charging cable. Not sure if Apple's gonna stick with the MagSafe branding and we're gonna see something similar to the previous gen MacBook Pros, but a removable magnetic charging cable should be coming back to the MacBook Pro, a surprise return I know many are really, really excited about. But I do have to say that we are hearing some conflicting reports on just how big of an upgrade is coming to the MacBook Pro. Some rumors suggest that it's gonna be a really big year for the MacBook Pro. There's gonna be a mini LED backlit display, slim bezels, the touch bar is going to be removed entirely, while other rumors are a little less optimistic. And the cosmetic changes will be a lot less than many are expecting. So I'm not sure which direction Apple is going to go, but personally, I really hope that these renders become reality and we do get a really big change to the MacBook Pro, something we really haven't seen in a while now. So I think it's a little long overdue. Before we continue, if there is anything I like more than talking about future Apple products, it is saving money on my cell phone bill and taking full control over my cell service. And if you want to do the same thing, then you gotta make the switch over to Ting Mobile. Ting is doing cell service the right way in 2021. You're not locked in any kind of contract, there are no sky-high bills and fees, you're just getting access to nationwide LTE and 5G service that's fantastic, and award-winning customer service that is always there to help every step of the way. If you head on over to tac.ting.com, you can check out Ting's plans and see what they offer, but I think the sweet spot here is right in the middle with this Set 5 plan. You're getting unlimited talk, text, and 5 gigs of data for just $25 a month. It is a fantastic deal that I think is perfect for most people these days. There are lots of things I love about Ting, but one of the best things is just how easy they make it to make the switch. In most cases, you can keep your phone number, all the data on your phone. It's really just a matter of popping out the old SIM, popping in the new one that Ting is gonna send you, and you're up and running in a matter of minutes. And if you wanna double check to make sure your phone's gonna work on Ting, most likely it will, there's a great button right at the top of the page. It's gonna make it super simple to do a quick check and make sure everything is good to go. So if you head to tac.ting.com or click that link right down below, you can get $25 of credit for making the switch over to Ting, which should basically almost cover your first month's bill, if not totally cover your first month's bill, depending on the plan that you go with, and maybe even a little more. It is finally time to say goodbye to contracts and sky-high bills and hello to cell service done right. If you want to learn more and see everything that Ting has to offer, you can hit that link right down below or visit tac.ting.com. Next up, let's shift gears and talk about iPads, specifically the 2021 iPad Pro, because that could be launching in just a matter of days or weeks at this point. It seems like it is almost just about ready to finally be released and made public. And what we know about this new iPad is not a whole lot. We know it's supposed to get a mini LED display, we know it's gonna get upgrades to the processor and some other internal improvements, but little is known besides that. Possibly some camera upgrades, probably 5G is gonna be included on this year's lineup as well, but that's about it. Maybe we'll see a new Magic Keyboard, maybe a new Apple Pencil. So we know an all new iPad Pro is coming, but that's kind of all we know about the current 2021 model as of right now. We are also learning some new information about other iPads, specifically the iPad mini, which kind of seems like it's been on life support for the last couple of years. Different rumors on this one. Some think that the iPad mini is going to get a total redesign and makeover and be basically a mini version of the current iPad Pro. Slim bezels, maybe Face ID, get a new industrial design. The renders and concepts look really cool and very promising, though others don't think the mini has the same fate. Some say it's going to get a bit of a processor bump, maybe it'll get a little bit of a larger display, but it's going to have the same bezels, the same design, basically look almost identical to the mini that we have right now. And some analysts think that the iPad mini is not too long for this world because the current $330 iPad kind of seems to fit the need of the customer that was usually buying the mini in the past. So not sure if the iPad mini is going to stick around for much longer, though there is some hope and a chance in the rumor mill that it could get quite the big upgrade, but we're gonna have to wait and see if that actually happens. Moving on to some other Apple products we know very little about, let's talk about the Apple Watch Series 7. Now, many are hoping that this is the year that we finally get a new redesign to the Apple Watch because we saw the Apple Watch 1, 2, and 3 share the same design, 4, 5, and 6 have shared the same design. So if Apple kind of follows that pattern, 7 is the magic number, and that should be kind of the signal of a new refresh coming to the Apple Watch, hopefully with a larger display. And maybe, if Apple's listening, a round display would be wonderful to see. I don't think they're gonna do that. What we know is very little about this new device. Obviously, Apple is gonna continue to double down their health features. We're hearing that Apple could possibly build in an unobtrusive glucose monitor somehow into the Apple Watch Series 7. But as of right now, there is very little known about the Apple Watch Series 7, besides the fact that it is set to launch alongside the new iPhone this fall. Now, we also know that Apple is hard at work on products that we're just not gonna see this year. We know that Apple is working on a car, and I think the Apple car is going to be the product that gets sort of the fruits of the labor of Apple's investments right now. So 6G, Apple's money they're pouring into it and the staff they're hiring to develop it, I think it's going to go into products like the Apple car and future Apple products. We'll start to see that technology really kind of come to life and see the benefits of Apple's investments, and maybe even things like the Apple AR glasses as well. We've heard some rumors that we could possibly see maybe a sneak peek of that by the end of this year, and maybe it'll launch next year in 2022, though it's still very unclear what Apple's roadmap on that product is, though we know it's closer to launching than not because they have been very hard at work on these glasses for years, so hopefully we just get a bit of a sneak peek of that sometime at the end of 2021. And last but not least, if you've made it this far into the video, which if you have, thank you very much. I send you a thank you. I sincerely appreciate it. Here is an alleged image of what we're expecting to see soon from Apple with the next generation of AirPods, AirPods 3. You'll notice this has a very similar design to the current version of AirPods Pro, but it should get better battery life, it should get a new case, and should get a new design to go with this next generation of AirPods. We're also expecting an update to the Apple TV to launch sometime this year, possibly with a new remote and some new processors inside, and I think that is about it. That is everything we currently know Apple is working on for this year. New watches, new tablets, new Macs, new phones. There is a lot to get excited about from Apple this year in 2021. And now I gotta ask you the question, what are you most excited for? Are you saving your money for the iPhone 13? Is that gonna be a big enough, compelling enough upgrade to make you wanna save your money and wait for that coming this fall? Or are you tempted by a new MacBook Pro or those colorful iMacs, or maybe even the new iPad Pro? Curious to hear your thoughts. What are you most excited to see from Apple this year or into the coming years moving forward if you're really excited for that Apple car? Let me know down below in the comments. As always, thank you guys so much for watching the Apple Circle. I sincerely appreciate it. We all do. Thank you so much. I'm Robert Rosenfeld, and I'll see ya in the next one.